Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not. I think
Some people might ask. I mean, I'm a lot of people are listening, so
I
I'm
just
sure some
used your
we just want
voice,
to.
Alain.
Well,
So our AI actually just sounds like Alain.
I
But
just
no,
think that
I
if a doctor's going to tell me that I have a brain tumor or something, I'd like the soothing voice of Morgan Freeman to tell me that. And I will pretend that I don't speak whatever language a doctor speaks to be able to
yeah.
get that message and with that.
Well, maybe I shouldn't like say this. Well, I should. I probably shouldn't actually. The thing is that these companies like they build their AI models by like cannibalizing their data of their interpreters of everything, and they spent like these are like expensive things to train, right? It costs millions of dollars, and to me, they just wasted all that money. They just like I wouldn't say wasted, but like they're paying a lot to train those models while you can have access to a lot of data nowadays with AI, right? You know how much data is like now made available. So,
But even before AI, I think that like big translation companies are already kind of not exploiting, but taking advantage of the fact that they had employees that were translators and interpreters and using that information to build their own glossaries and terminology, and they had linguists on board to be able to
oh yeah,
populate all this. So like it's already been happening for a very long time in the language industry. We just I think are becoming scared in the last 4 to 5 years because now the whole AI trend is to basically turn every human job into a robot. That's like Isaac Asimov's predictions are coming true. But yeah,
mm,
I think that's the big threat right now that we see. But I mean, we've been through a lot of threats throughout the years too. Like every time that there was a recession, I thought that was the end of interpretation. People aren't going to meet anymore. But like after the 2008 recession, when I was working then, I was like, oh my god, what am I going to do? The whole world's going to hell. Like all the stocks dropped ninety
yeah.
percent overnight, and then like one of my colleagues that already had maybe 20 years over me is like, oh, I was there during the recession in the '90s. Don't worry about it. People will always want to meet. They'll talk about how cool they are when there's a when everything's going well, and how they can become cool again to get over this recession. So like yeah, we've already had all these ups and downs, COVID being the other one,
Yeah,
and
Stephen
and
Harper, I think, right? Do you remember that? I actually was not like that active at that point, but apparently, with the hiring freeze, with the translation bureau cuts, everything, apparently it was kind of difficult as well. Like in around
yeah,
the
with Harper,
2000.
he sent out something that said that everything had to be in English only. That basically
Oh
no
yeah,
no French, and then because the
yeah,
translation bureau was getting a budget cut.
yeah.
So yeah, we've already
It was
been
worse than
like
AI, is what you're telling me.
well, in a lot of ways, I'm not. I mean, I don't know if we're allowed to get into politics in this podcast, but we'll get
we're
fact checkers to
you
double
said it
check.
well. You said it well, Brian. We're Switzerland.
That's right. We're Switzerland. But in any event, like yeah, I think I agree with the fact that there's been a lot of upsets in the language industry as a whole. But I think we've always come out stronger. And I think this AI thing, yeah, Alain, you're right. It's scary that maybe something will take our jobs. But like, and I think what Olivier is saying is like it's still in its infancy, and I believe that AI is still in its infancy too. Like it's like I said last episode, I think it's a baby where it's not only just learning how to walk and talk because it just was born a little while ago in comparison to like the beginning of time, but it's also like you have to teach it all these things. So, I mean, I guess Olivier's job is going to have to be to teach it how to do what he wants it to do.
And if I can be like frank and maybe.
We're among friends. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. If
Just
it's
you and me
not
and the
recorded,
world.
that's great. I'll just yeah. But I think we've seen over the years a lot of interpreters join the market that don't, and I've seen maybe Brian, you've seen it as well. I'm not exactly sure if you guys have seen it, but some interpreters who don't take interpretation that seriously in the sense that they just felt like, oh, hey, somebody is hiring, and and those I think interpreters do more damage to the market than AI in the sense that they don't prepare well, they don't take it seriously. And I remember when I was training, and the most important thing I think we look for in interpreters is their their professionalism, how much they're willing to improve. And I know like those veteran interpreters that prepare like really well for every event they do, and you have like these new interpreters that are very young sometimes, and they just don't take it seriously. They don't realize the opportunity, and they don't have the right mindset, and I feel that's like more harmful than AI. And I think AI
Just
has
to I'm sorry to interrupt, but just to make sure, are you saying that young interpreters don't prepare as much, or new interpreters in the market don't, whatever their age, don't prepare as much?
Yeah, I think there were a lot of like needs during in the last few years. The market grew a lot, and lots of interpreters joined the market that you know, that I never knew about, that started to be interpreters, and a lot of actually are very good. So I'm not saying like the new interpreters are bad. I'm saying some in the market found an opportunity, but they don't take it seriously enough. Like they don't prepare well enough to their assignment, and I've heard stories. You have a full day assignment, and the guy runs out of the booth every time. He's been interpreting for like a year, right? He's a green interpreter. He's just fresh, like, as an interpreter. You should be staying in the booth, making notes of what your colleagues are doing, listen to what's being said. But no, in between, he has his own like agency that does other things. He makes phone calls. He runs as businesses to run. Somebody said that, oh, I have businesses to run in between my shifts. So he runs out of the booth and just comes back like a minute before to take over. That's not very professional, like in the sense that you're hired to do a contract. You're not supposed to do anything else. And that's not like an isolated case. So I don't know if it's just me, but I
Yeah,
felt like some of the market that increased, like expanded, right? Some don't take it seriously enough.
yeah, and I agree, and I think it's on both ends too, because there are also other interpreters who have been around for 30 years, and they're like, "Oh, well, I don't need to prepare for this because I've been doing this for 30 years." But like every time that you do a new event, it's like you have to prepare for all of them. And yeah, I think that's where an agency like America or UN Language Services comes in, where we're here to kind of protect our clients against those things. So yeah, it's like fool me once and shame on me, fool me twice, shame on you, right? So
Yeah.
we don't get caught that way, fortunately. Like I don't hear any complaints about America. I hope it's vice versa. And yeah, so like, but I don't know if that's a good comparison to AI though, in the sense that like if it does become, because you're always trying to improve the AI. So whereas like these interpreters that don't prepare before a conference for whatever reason, I don't know if it's the same thing as
Yeah.
training an AI to do better, you know?
But you know what happens, and I've seen like this direct correlation, and over time, I think with the volume, it has an effect in the sense that we don't like when attendees don't trust the interpreters, when they don't do a good job, then the French speaker will just speak in English. He'll be like, okay, well, why am I speaking in French? They don't trust the interpreters to do a good job because they had a bad experience. And then the organizer will say, well, last year, the interpreters, I'm not sure they were that good, so why not use AI instead? So I think that's kind of unfortunate. And I'm not like a proponent, because I have my own agency anyway. So I'm not a proponent of using AI for everything, right? And I think it falls like under the interpreter's responsibility to do a professional job. And most like almost all the interpreters I know, they do a very good job. They're very professional and they do fantastic work. And that's when everybody feels comfortable speaking the language of their choice and listening to interpretation as well. It's great when that happens, right? But yeah.